Hey guys, welcome back to the amazing channel. I am GillianBerry, and today we have a gorgeous, almost 7-year raw vegan in the house. Ava loves raw. She is absolutely gorgeous. How's it going?
Hey, how are you?
Hey.
I'm so happy to be here.
I'm so happy to be here with you. We're all the way in LA, and you look incredible. You guys, Ava looks even more gorgeous in person. You look amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you're in your 50s. You don't have one wrinkle. And would you attribute this to the raw lifestyle?
I think so. I think also a big part of it is genetics. I'm not going to lie. My parents also, they have a pretty good skin. Yeah. So yeah, I think genetics, the lifestyle, drinking a lot of water. Cool. Being happy in the sun.
Can I, yeah, it's nice out here in LA. Do you have any gray hair? Can I ask?
No, I don't have any. You can inspect.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's no gray going on here. What about genetics with your hair? Do your parents, do they have
There's
gray?
a lot of gray in my family. So then that I do put down to the lifestyle, definitely, because I have been drinking green juice for many, many years. Even before I went raw, I was drinking my juice. So I think that's definitely something to do with it.
That is, because like, look at Lou Corona. He's freaking 72.
That's right.
That guy looks, it's the green juice.
Yeah.
I got to make sure I get on that every day. Well, let's get into questions.
Yeah, let's go.
So we have lots of great content too. We have a great video coming about what's aged us the most. So you guys make sure you stay tuned for that. And okay, so the first question is, you live in California, great life here, great place for social life. Have you felt like you've missed out at all eating this way? I guess like socially, like the restaurants and all that, like.
Yeah, not at all. In fact, I think it's the best lifestyle to have if you are in this kind of climate. It even enhances it even more because you're not freezing all the time. And everywhere you go, they have amazing salads and the produce here is so good. So I have to say, no, it's definitely not a downer at all. And actually, there's so many vegan restaurants here. So even if you go to any mundane, all regular restaurant, they're going to have a vegan salad. They're going to have vegan food. So this is the perfect place for it. Definitely.
Yeah. So say you're out with people who just at a regular restaurant, what would you order?
I usually always order the salad because there's nothing else. Unless it's a raw vegan restaurant, you're just going to order the salad and I'll have a little sparkling water. Cool. And that's it. I make sure to eat before I go out. I go out for the social event of it. I like to go to fancy places sometimes, and I'll just go for the atmosphere, the ambiance, but I'm not there necessarily to eat a meal. Yeah. So I'll just have something before I go. I'll have my smoothie, and then I'll go ahead and I'll have a salad there. Cool. Dressing on the side.
Yeah, dressing on the side. I love it. And okay, the next question is, how have you managed being raw when your family isn't? Because I don't think they are. No. And it says, and has it made it harder or bothered you that they don't eat the same way? What's your approach on this? That's a good question. My family's not raw or vegan.
No, mine either. You know, it's one of those things you just have to let it go. You can't control other people's journeys. You can't control what your husband is doing or eating. So I just let that be. As far as my kids, they're teenagers now, and it's been really hard because they grew up vegetarian, because that's one thing I made sure that there was no meat in the house. My husband would have meat when he went out, but now they're teenagers and they're eating everything.
It's hard, right? My kids eat everything, and sometimes it makes me feel so bad, and then I feel like if I try and verbalize it, they think I'm nagging them, and they're all a 3-person trio, and they just like want to run the other way. Yeah,
you got to let it go. That's what my thing now is that I do my thing, and I've been doing this for some time. I do my thing, they do their thing, and if I nag, it's even worse. So
yeah. And do you feel tempted? I know a lot of people ask, like, do you feel tempted in the kitchen with their cooked food around, and do you cook for them?
I cook for them every single night. Wow. I'm a very good mom like that. And I don't feel tempted because it's not my food. And one thing I've learned is make my food first, always. Make sure that I'm not starving by the time dinner comes. And I always have some juice or maybe a little fruit or maybe snack on a little crudité or whatever, slice whatever. Yeah. And then I make their food. And
what is crudité? I don't even know what that is.
Like sliced cucumbers, maybe some carrots. Cool. Maybe do a little dip or something, a little guac on the side, you know. Yeah.
Maybe when they get older, though, they might be like, look at my mom. She looks amazing, and like start to do more of it, you know.
My oldest one is now starting to ask me about things like this. Wow. Like, Mom, you don't have any gray hair. How come you don't have gray hair? Yeah. You know, all my friends' moms have gray hair. I'm like, well, I drink a lot of green juice, you know. Or she'll be saying, you know, you wear the same, we wear the same size jeans, my kids and I. Wow. And they're like, Mom, you know, you stay in shape. And I'm like, guys, it's how I eat. It's how I take care of myself. So yeah, we share genes, and they're like, that's, you know, they're starting to pay attention to that kind of thing.
And you get no Botox, right?
No.
I'm blown away because you have no wrinkles. Even when you move your head, like I have more than you and I'm 41. That's amazing. But we'll save that for the aging video, guys. So let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. That's going to be a good one. So, okay, the next one is, in all your years vegan, have you ever had a piece of meat or fish?
I haven't had any fish or meat. No.
Wow.
No.
Not in the 7 years at all?
No.
Amazing, Ava. And you're not withering away. You are not bedridden. Like
No,
some people say about us vegans.
Yes, no fish or meat. But I had been vegetarian for many years prior to that. So I already had, practice with that.
Wow. So not even one occasion where you've been like, let me try it. Let me see what it does. And no desire.
No.
Yeah.
It freaks me out a little bit.
Me too now.
Yeah.
I look at it, I'm like, and the way it smells now, I don't like the smell. How do you deal with that in your house? So you don't ever have it in the house?
I don't make it in my house. No. But the other day, it's so funny. We went out and my daughter ordered freaking chicken wings. I was like, okay. Try to be positive about it. But like, I'm thinking that is like someone's leg. When you're looking at the bone, I'm thinking that's like someone's leg.
Yeah.
And you're just chewing on going. I was like freaked out about it. But I can't make them feel guilty either, because they know they have all the books, they know all about being vegan. It's like they've been brainwashed in a way. And they know, so I just have to let it go.
It makes it worse.
Yeah.
It makes it worse if we say stuff.
Yeah.
It's a struggle for me, at least.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next question is, what is the biggest thing you have learned in your raw vegan journey?
Well, it's so funny because I was thinking about that when we were talking just now about letting it go. That's probably the biggest lesson. Let it go.
Yeah.
And do your thing. Shine your light, do your thing. And everyone else is just going to do what feels right for them at the time. Maybe I'm inspiring them, maybe I'm not, but I'm just, just don't try to make someone do something they don't want to do. And let it go.
Do you take that approach online too? Because I know there's some vegans or raw vegans that don't take that approach online, and they like to call people out and tell them like what you're doing is wrong. Like, what approach do you feel like is best online with people too?
I think is live and let live. I mean, what works for you might not work for me. Some people do things that I don't necessarily do or eat, but I just respect that. I guess it comes with age. At the beginning, I was a little bit more militant about it, and I was the know-it-all raw vegan, and I have it right, and I'm doing everything right. And now I'm like, what the hell do I know, first of all? And I have changed also. My journey has progressed. I'm not where I was when I first started. So I'm just, do your thing.
Yeah, and so recently you've started eating a little bit of cooked food here and there, right? And I think some people online, they've been giving you a little bit of heat about this, right?
A little bit, not too much. People for the most part are amazing. We have a good community. I feel like our community is actually one of the kindest communities, but there's always a couple of trolls here and there who call you out on whatever. And I've been honest about it, and I've shared, I feel that now I'm more of a in a maintenance stage, I should say. When I first started, I wanted to heal, and I had a big something to heal. I had a lot of hormonal issues, and I've talked about this in my videos, but now I'm more of in a maintenance phase, and I'm like, you know what? I'm good. My health is good. I'm vibrant. I feel amazing. My blood work is great. I have so much energy, so I'm not as militant as I was. And now I enjoy a little bit of cooked food sometimes. My diet is pretty much the same, but now I add a little cooked sometimes, like maybe sweet baked potato, or maybe some quinoa, or maybe I'll have steamed veggies, very clean, not only steamed. I don't fry anything, nothing like that. I don't have food at restaurants still. I still always order my salad. But I will have, sometimes I'll have a sweet baked potato. So what does like a typical day look like right now for you, like beginning to end with what you're eating? So juice almost every day. And my juices are green. I don't do fruit juices anymore. That's something that I don't do anymore. How come? They jack me up too much. And I felt very unbalanced, very ungrounded. And I felt like it was, I was starting to think, am I really feeling amazing, or am I overstimulated? Which one is it? So I started experimenting with more green, less fruit, and now I'm all green. And so I do green juice, I do a smoothie, very boring, you know how this goes. It's like always the same thing. Green
People
juice.
like to hear it though.
I know. Okay, guys, there's nothing special about it. One green juice, one mostly green smoothie with a lot of veggies, and a big salad. That's 99.9% of my days. And then once in a while, especially in the winter, maybe a little sweet baked potato.
So mostly greens based then.
Yeah,
that's
very.
good. Yeah, and you notice a difference. You feel better mostly greens based than a lot of fruit.
I do.
Yeah, because I interviewed Brian Clement recently.
Yeah.
And he never eats fruit ever. He said never, because he said that when they at Hippocrates, when they were healing people, the tumors were growing when they were eating fruit. And then I guess when they removed the fruit, then the tumors started like vanishing, which is interesting to me, because you do hear people that are like, I healed on fruit though. You do hear a lot of those stories too. I'm not anti-fruit. I eat a ton of fruit.
Yeah. But
it's just interesting to me. And I was thinking like, how do you fill up on the greens all day? But like you do it.
Yeah. It's, well, something happens as you get older too. I think I tend to eat less now than when I first started. I used to eat massive meals. Now my meals are more compact. And I think I'm getting more protein from all the greens too. And I do have sprouts. I do sprout lentils and things like this. And I know Brian, and I studied with Brian because I went to Hippocrates. I was there for 9 weeks.
Yeah.
And I learned a ton. But what I've learned to do also, Gillian, is do my thing. I learned from Brian. I've learned from Dr. Morse. And eventually I just found my own way, which is not necessarily all fruit or no fruit. It's kind of like somewhere in the middle. I'm very balanced.
That's important, to find your own way.
Yeah.
Hippocrates looks amazing. Everybody I talk to, they're like, I never felt better in my whole life.
Yeah.
Like, it was the most amazing experience.
Yeah.
And he looks good.
Yeah, he does look good.
No, like he's 72. He blew me away.
Yeah, and he's the energy, the charisma.
Yeah.
He's just amazing to be around. And he's the best speaker ever.
Yeah.
He's so entertaining and so educational. You're just like in awe. I love him.
Especially in person. Like, it's insane.
Yeah.
Okay, the next question is, what is the biggest mistake you have made in your raw vegan journey?
The biggest mistake was thinking that I had all the answers and thinking I knew everything and that everybody was wrong.
Yeah.
And that this was the only way. And now I know that there are many ways to heal and that food is one piece of the puzzle, but mindset also is huge. And because we all know those people that are like 95 and bouncing off the walls and they eat meat or whatever it is. And it all comes down to mindset. So I've learned to take everything with a grain of salt, and we don't have all the answers. We have a great diet, but at the same time, I don't know many raw vegans that are like 110. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Where
I
are
think
they?
we have all the answers.
So we don't have all the answers. I do know that I feel amazing and I don't want to give that up. So I'm staying where I am. But at the same time, I'm open to possibilities of other ways of healing or maybe body work or whatever it is. We don't have all the answers.
Yeah, I agree. I feel the same way. And is it hard being in a relationship with somebody who doesn't eat the same way for you, or no? Like with your marriage?
No.
Good.
No, because we respect each other.
Good.
And I respect his right to have a steak when he goes out or whatever. He knows I won't make it, but I respect him and he respects me. That's one good thing that we've always had. It's like, you do you, I do me.
Good. Yeah, I think respect, like when I talk to people who are in like 40-year marriages that are like amazing, they're like the number one thing is like we have such a deep respect for each other.
Yeah.
I think that's really key.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next question is, what benefits took place when you went raw vegan?
What benefits? Well, the first one was I could get up off the floor because I was like dying. I had no energy.
Wow.
It was just dramatic. I was a mom in my 40s with 2 little kids, kind of like the same age yours are now. And I had no energy to do anything. Like by 4 p.m., I remember the Oprah show used to come on. That was me, Oprah and coffee.
Wow.
Because I was done for the day.
Wow.
And then I would make dinner and I would just be like, I'm done. And I was just extremely fatigued. And so the first thing I noticed was the energy coming back. And then I had severe hormonal issues. I had periods that lasted for 3 weeks.
Wow.
So I had such a lot of blood loss that I was anemic. So that all went away. My periods got stabilized and everything. And then I used to stink, just all the things, the bad skin.
I get it though, yeah.
The breath, the hair, just everything was just such a mess. And it was just like a rebirth. It was like really coming alive for the first time.
And how did you find it? I can't remember. Did you read a book or something?
It's interesting. I don't know exactly who planted the seed, but I had heard from somebody somewhere about the Hippocrates Health Institute. And when I was searching for answers and going from one doctor to the next, thinking, there's got to be someone that can help me besides, because they were going to give me a hysterectomy. They were going to put me on pills and all of this. someone mentioned about and so I looked it up and I went there. And then after I went there, I'm like, I'm going to study here. So I did the health educator program, and that's how I found out about it. And then I left Hippocrates, and I'm like, I can't exactly do this lifestyle at home. It's too much work, like all the sprouts and all the wheatgrass and all that nasty wheatgrass. I was like, I'm not doing the wheatgrass, but I then learned from other people. Yeah.
Do they teach you how to take this home or no? Like in Hippocrates, they teach you how to go home and do it like that?
Yeah, they do. And it's not easy.
It's expensive to go there though, right? But it was worth the money?
It was worth the money. You know, some things in life are, you know, the price you pay. I mean, you sometimes, not always, but you do get what you pay for. And some things are an investment in your health. I would have spent a lot more money in surgeries and hospitals and doctors and all of that. So I just figured, I'm just going to go for it. And my husband was supportive. He's like, babe, go do it. And my kids were homeschooled. So I left them with a friend that also homeschooled. Yeah. And off I went for 9 weeks.
And have you had any health problems like since you've gone raw?
Zero.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And you look amazing.
Thank
it's working.
You.
Yeah. It's clearly meant to be, I feel like. And okay, so what foods are the biggest game changers on a raw vegan diet for thriving?
For me, it's gonna have to be the greens and the bioavailable protein, you know, so the sprouts. And I love the superfoods too. I love the chlorella, the spirulina, all of those things. But for me, it's gonna have to be the greens, or
green juices too. They just make you feel so good.
Yeah, it's just vibing, you know. It's just alive. It's electric.
Yeah, it makes you feel like nothing else. Thank God for juicers. I feel like. What raw foods do you avoid? Are there any raw foods you avoid?
Cacao.
Me too. Cacao's such a drug, right? I know so many people, they pop it in their smoothie every day and they're like, it's a superfood, it's anti-aging.
Or their smoothie bowls.
Every time I have like crack-like effects with it.
Yeah.
Do these people not have the same effects?
I don't know. For me, I'm like
gut thing or what is how come they do it?
I'm not right when I have cacao.
Me
it's
too.
Not right. I love it, mind you. So sometimes a friend will give me a little chocolate bar and I'm like, or on my birthday, I'm like, oh, I just love it so much. I'm going to have some.
Yeah.
And then I'm like literally like twitching. So I'm like, this is not good for me.
No.
So that's when I avoid. And I also avoid too much fat, just in general. I have played with the fat percentage. Sometimes I'll have more, sometimes I'll have less. But I do feel that I feel my best when it's not a ton of fat. So raw food restaurants and things like that with those rich dishes and all that, I'm like, I can't do that.
You may as well eat cooked food. You feel better on cooked food than those huge gourmet meals.
Honestly, right? You end up like for the next 10 hours you're digesting. You know? I'm like, no. So
is that a big thing, your digestion, like being raw, eating only raw food, like versus before how you ate? Like you ate more standard American diet, right?
Oh yeah, total.
So your digestion was probably way different.
I went to the bathroom every third day, if that.
Oh man.
It was like,
were you grumpy?
Very. I was a bitch. Honestly, I was like one of those constipated bitches.
How did your husband deal with that?
I don't even know. I ask him all the time, like, how did you get through life with me?
He's a ride or die then.
He's like a good guy. I don't know. I guess he just had compassion for me. I don't know. I was such a bitch. And I don't even know how, my digestion was really bad. Yeah.
Me too. That's what led me to raw. Like I wasn't going every 3 days, but maybe every couple days. And
every couple days.
I was backed up or I was having diarrhea. Then there was blood in my stool.
Oh, wow.
And then I went to all these doctors. I went to 18 doctors. It wasn't until the 18th doctor that he finally said, maybe you have celiac. That was the first doctor ever, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Out of all the doctors to think like maybe it's something you're eating.
Yeah.
Isn't that make it like, where are we living? What planet are we on?
Yeah.
And then I removed gluten. I swear to God, within 1 day, I was like, whoa, holy crap.
Yeah.
All the brain fog is gone almost. All my anxiety went.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy crap, I feel like a new human being.
Yeah.
And then, so it's like, if that affects me that way, what is other stuff doing?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. The brain fog is amazing too.
Right?
As soon as that lifts, you're like, wait, what? I can't think. And because I was a heavy coffee drinker, I was always drinking coffee.
I loved it.
Oh,
how many a day?
I still love it.
Me too.
Because I love the smell of it.
That's the one thing. Like I smell it. And I'm just like, oh. But then if I have it, I'll have so much anxiety.
Yeah. My heart starts palpitating.
People, like, I'm going to fly to Hawaii and come visit you tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'll be doing all these things I wouldn't usually
do.
Yeah. Do you ever have a coffee here and there?
No.
Never? Never in 7 years?
No.
Whoa.
I know a couple of times,
Good for you.
But not on a regular basis, no.
No.
Like like my daughter loves these iced coffees and all that, you know, and so she'll be like, have a little sip. And a couple of times I have taken a little sip and I'm like, my heart's going boom, 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 boom. I'm like, okay, that's okay. I don't need it. But I love the smell.
Me too.
I love it. I sometimes in where I live, there's a lot of coffee shops and I'll just go in there to smell. I'm like, this smells so good in here. Do they have candles with this smell? Because it's so good.
I just wish it didn't have the negatives, you know, the downsides, because that makes it not worth it.
No.
But it's freaking.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. Okay. So the next one is, what does a cheat day look like for you? If you have cheat days, I don't know.
I don't have cheat days.
Never.
No.
Yeah, me too. It's not worth it.
It's not worth it. But a cheat day for me would be a raw food restaurant.
Okay, like the gourmet.
The gourmet.
Like, what would be your favorite dish? Like a pizza or tacos? Or
there's one in San Diego that's really good, peace pies. And so anything there is really good, but it's really gourmet. It's really heavy.
And they're all raw, that place?
Yeah, it's all raw. But my thing is the desserts. I'll have the cheesecakes and things like that. And man, it's good. But you can't eat for the next 10 hours.
Yeah, it's like one day every few months. I feel like max.
Yeah, yeah. And afterwards, you really feel it. You're like you say, you might as well have had something cooked because it's really heavy. Yeah. And you're digesting it. And it's like, oh my God. It's like, yeah, it's heavy. I
feel like a lot of those places can't stay in business because the food costs, the produce is a lot. And then there's not as much demand. So it's good if they stay in business. Have you felt that the cost for you as a raw vegan over 7 years has been like something that's been drastically higher than if you still ate standard American? And like, what do you say to somebody who's like, well, I want to eat that way, but it's so expensive?
I mean, I'm not going to say it's not expensive because for me it is.
Me
because
too.
I buy organic and I buy the best quality that I can find. I don't go to Walmart, you know what I mean? Where it comes from China or whatever. Yeah. So I want local, I want organic, I want fresh, I want it vibing. I spend more money. I go to all the health food stores. I go to the farmers markets. And so I get that when people say I can't afford it. Well, see where else you could give up because I couldn't afford not to. My health was down the toilet. So if I didn't do this, God knows where I would be with my health. I would have spent so much money on treatments and whatever. So you have to
pay for your healthcare in the States too, right?
Yeah. So you have to make a decision. Like when people say I can't afford it, and then they're getting their nails done, they're getting their coffee every day, they have brand new clothes all over the place. I'm like, well, you could afford it.
But then they're like, the food, I just want to get it cheap. But no, like that should be the place where you spend your money. I don't feel guilty at all spending a lot of money on food. Me either. And then I feel like I have more energy eating this way. So I make more money because I'm way more driven, focused.
Yeah. We're alive.
You were talking. So the groceries at Walmart, do they really bring in some food from China?
Yeah.
Food?
Yeah.
Like produce?
Yeah. Well, the frozen stuff.
Jeez.
And then the fresh stuff is coming from freaking, I don't know, Ecuador or whatever, like really far, you know. And we live in California. Like, why would I not get local produce from the guy at the farmer's market who literally picked it out of the ground the day before?
And you eat all organic?
Not all. Watermelons are not organic. Bananas are not organic. Avocados are not organic. But all the greens, all the berries, all the important stuff, you know, the dirty dust. And yeah.
And your husband's never given you a hard time for the diet being more expensive?
No, because he also likes very good food. Yeah. Good. So I'll buy for all of us the good stuff.
You're worth it. We're worth it. It's worth it.
We're worth it. Absolutely.
And so somebody said, this is a little bit different, off topic, kind of, it ties in with the channel though. Give us a story of when a super hard time ended up being a major blessing, or something you wanted to work out badly, but it didn't work out the way you wanted. But then in hindsight, you're glad it worked out that way. Does that make sense?
So it makes total sense.
We like spirituality on this channel too.
Yeah. Well, my biggest blessing has been being sick, because then I found this. Wow. And I found a whole new way of living, and I found a whole new way of being. So my biggest blessing was the fact that I had those periods that would last for 3 weeks, that I was so sick, that I had the brain fog, that I had the stinky armpits, that I was so unwell. That was a blessing in disguise, because where I am today, I feel amazing.
Yeah. And how was your skin before? Was your skin bad before?
Yeah.
And your skin is really great now.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I did get a lot of hormonal acne.
You did?
Yeah, a lot of it. I had a lot of scars. That's why I had lasers and things like that to get rid of all the scars, because I had a lot of pitted.
And it helps, the laser? Like, you were happy with it?
Yeah. I had a lot of scars. I had a lot of acne
from
scars.
the acne?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that like when you see people and it looks like it's kind of indented a bit?
Yeah, that's That's what I had.
Jeez, it's crazy. Does it do that to people from like picking at it or just from having it?
Because they were so deep. They were so deep that when the pimple came out, I left a hole in my skin. They were so bad. Wow. I had cystic acne at one point growing up when I was 17, 18. I had just blackheads. I just whiteheads, but just a mess. Yeah.
Wow. Well, this has been great. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for being so open.
Yeah.
I just have one last question. I can't remember if somebody asked this. I don't think, but people ask this on the channel all the time. If somebody wants to get started, what should they do? People always ask me, if I want to start this lifestyle, where do I get started? How do I start?
I know.
They're very confused out there and they want to know.
I know. That was my biggest question too. I did not know where or how to start. But the thing you have to remember is that you just start, and then you figure it out on the go. Don't try and have everything figured out in order to start. You sort of start and then you figure it out as you go, because you're not going to have all the answers at the beginning. You're not going to have it all figured out. People are always asking me about recipes. I'm like, the recipes don't matter. Just get the food, figure out a way to eat it. So yeah, just get started. Don't worry about the logistics. The logistics work themselves out as you go. And you get the food. Obviously, you're not going to start if you have a bunch of Doritos in the cabinet. Get the stuff, have it in the house, and then promise yourself you're going to have a salad every day. Promise yourself you're going to have a smoothie every day, and crowd out the other stuff. But basically start and then figure it out as you go.
Exactly. And okay, amazing. Great advice. And where can everybody find you? And I think you have a group now, right? Everything?
Yes.
Yeah. So let everybody know, and everybody go follow Ava. She's amazing. I'll link everything down below for her Instagram. Her YouTube channel is amazing. And amazing. I love your thumbnails and everything too. You're so great. And great content, very genuine. So let everybody know. And everybody make sure you subscribe, because we have a great video coming about what's aged us the most, raw vegan, and a great recipe demo in the kitchen.
Yay. So yes, I have a private community now, because that's the biggest thing. I think that helps so much when you're in this journey, is not doing it alone and knowing that there are other people that are just as crazy as you might be thinking that you are. And so I started my own little group, and it's going really well.
Good.
It's like the highlight of my week, meeting with my peeps. It's a small group, so I have a relationship with everyone in the group. So it's really nice. It feels amazing.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Ava. And thanks to the viewers. I hope you guys love this. I hope it added some value. If it did, give it a big thumbs up right now and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.